Time now to spotlight VinFast Auto, a designer and manufacturer of electric vehicles, EVs, e-scooters, e-buses. Joining us now is Madame Thuy, Chairwoman of VinFast Auto. Madame Lay, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me today.
We appreciate it. So let's talk about your delivery growth recently. You saw strong growth, nearly tripling year over year. Tell me about what you attribute that growth to.
So last year we delivered close to 97,000 vehicles, which we beat the target as well as the guidance last year. And this year we already provided the guidance that we're going to at least double last year deliveries. Most of the growth came from Vietnam, obviously.
Yes.
We had about 20% of the market share last year in Vietnam, and in Q1 this year we already had about 40% of the market share and continue growing in Vietnam. The other growth will be around our market in ASEAN, in Southeast Asia, in Indonesia, in the Philippines, and the next one is going to be India. We continue maintaining our position in North America, in Europe, and we started in the Middle East as well.
Madame Lay, I'm curious to know, I did notice that most of your growth came from Vietnam. How much does penetrating these other markets or deeper penetration matter to that growth story?
Well, I think Vietnam, we started in Vietnam first. So the way we roll out our green transformation, if you will, is we use the whole ecosystem. So not just VinFast selling cars, but also we have the charging station, proprietary charging stations in Vietnam everywhere. We have proprietary green taxi fleet of about 60,000 vehicles today in Vietnam, EVs, and about 50,000 e-scooter as well. We have electric bus in Vietnam as well. So that whole ecosystem introduced the customers to the whole green ecosystem that allowed them to live and immerse and get comfortable with EVs in general. And we're taking that everywhere as well.
There was this vision that we would see deeper EV adoption this year than we have seen. There's been, kind of some challenges on that front. And then, you have strong growth, but then still facing some losses there. What's your message to investors who are kind of trying to manage that tension between growth and then the challenges when it comes to profitability?
We still maintain our forecast that we're going to be profitable from 2026, so that everything's still heading in that direction, and that's why we changed our strategy last year and focused on Vietnam and Southeast Asia, where the vehicles are more similar, where socio-economic conditions are similar, and we can penetrate faster. So that's still the same goal, but. If you look at the big picture, I mean, everybody would probably agree that EV is the future. It might take longer, but it is the future, and we're heading toward that future.
I believe it is the future, but I wonder how fast or rapid the shift will be, because for instance, I'm in the market for a new car. I thought I would make the switch this year to an EV, but the cars, I'm just being honest with you, the cars I've tried out have been, the traditional gas-powered vehicles, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm ready yet. And part of it is I think about the charging stations, like what do I have? Is the infrastructure there to support this? They say here in the U.S. in the Northeast, there's more infrastructure to support it. But what's your message to people who are on the fence and say, oh, I'll wait a little bit longer?
Well, the future is EV for sure. We understand the concern. The two main concerns. One is the range anxiety, right, and the popularity, like unfamiliarity with the EVs, and the second one is the charging station. Are there enough? So that's why we address those concerns with the ecosystem approach in Vietnam. That's exactly what we do. We have charging stations everywhere. We have the green taxi everywhere that allow people to get in the car, be a customer from the back seat, that allow people to rent the car and try it for a week, a month, or a year without feeling like they bought the vehicles. So I think that approach actually worked for us in Vietnam, and we started taking that ecosystem approach everywhere, to Indonesia, to the Philippines, to India, and hopefully to other markets as well. And we find that very helpful in the green transition.
Okay, and I have to ask you, obviously trade policy has been top of mind this year. How are you managing tariff risk? It's a tough one, right?
Interesting. Wow. So we, automotive tariff is different from reciprocal tariff that we've been talking about. So it's 25% extra. Right. From the beginning of the year, U.S. doesn't really account for a large part of our deliveries, so probably less than 2% or so, and we intentionally kept it that way initially. I think all the vehicles that we needed for this year we already imported before April 2nd, and we're just watching to see what's going to happen. But this year and until things kind of settle down, U.S. is a very important market for us, but we're not, relying on U.S. for deliveries.
Well, that's good that you got them in before that date, right? And we'll certainly see where the trade policy ultimately lands. It's a pleasure to have you on, Madame Thuy.
Pleasure's mine.
That.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. That's Madame Thuy, Chairwoman of VinFast Auto, joining us now.